Hey everybody, David Enevoldson from Emotional Embuffination here, and in this video I want to talk to you about the top 10 mistakes that people make when trying to manifest something in their lives using the law of attraction. So stay tuned. All right, mistake number one, and I put this as number one because I feel like this is probably the biggest and most important and fundamental mistake that people make when utilizing the law of attraction. And that is to assume that the law of attraction is about bringing things to you, attracting just stuff to you. I would assert to you that it is not. In fact, if you change the model from I'm just drawing stuff to me into I am going to become the person to whom the things I want are drawn, I think you're going to see a massive difference in how you approach everything. I'm going to say that again because I think it's really important. Don't just think I'm going to bring those things to me, the stuff that I want, the girlfriend, the wife, the husband, the boyfriend, the house, the money, whatever it is. Don't just think they're going to come to me. I'm not just going to wake up one day and see the girl of my dreams sitting in my bed. Rather, become the person to whom those things are drawn. Become the person that that girl out there wants to marry, or the girl that that guy out there, or whatever the situation is that they want to get involved with. Become the kind of person that is good at making money. Become the person that is in the situation to whom money is going to flow. Become the kind of person that's going to have the job that you want. Whatever it is, don't just think it's going to come to you magically. And in some ways it will, which is part of the law of attraction, but work on creating a you that's just going to automatically and inherently draw that stuff in. That fundamentally altered everything for me. And part of the reason for that is that there is a sense of timelessness that we talk about within the law of attraction. And oftentimes we're just not ready for the things that we want. And if we were getting the things that we wanted right away, either things haven't quite lined up in the universe to bring them to you, or it would be a disaster if you actually got it right this second. If you were ready for it and the situation was perfect for it and you were applying all the law of attraction principles correctly, you would have it already. But if you haven't, there's something stalling it out. There's some problem there. And very often it's just that we're not ready. Think, for example, if you were going to be sitting there trying to manifest your role as the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and that's your entire focus. You're going to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and you're doing everything you can to manifest that. And let's say you just automatically jumped into that role, but you have zero training, zero experience, zero knowledge about what it takes to be in that role. It's going to be a disaster. So go ahead and get yourself ready for whatever it is that you want, and then it will come to you. All right, mistake number two that people make when trying to manifest is focusing too much on lack. Now, it's really hard to do sometimes when you need something or feel like you want something. If you're feeling like you're broke and you're poor, or you're feeling like you're sick and you want to be more healthy, if you want more money, if you're feeling broke and poor, it's really easy to get sucked into the fixation on the negative side of that, the lack part of it. So for example, I might just say, I want to not be sick anymore. I want to stop being broke. I don't want to have these bill collectors chasing me down. I want to not feel lonely anymore. I want that person in my life. Whatever it is, if you're focusing on the lack side of it, using the law of attraction principles, you're giving more energy to those things. So try to flip it in whatever you do and make sure that you're speaking in the affirmative and positive way. So instead of saying, I want to not be broke anymore, think about the wealth that you're going to have and the wealth that's flowing to you. Don't think about the sickness, think about the health. Take the positive end of it, take the affirmative side of it and put all of your attention there. When you start focusing on the lack, what are you going to manifest? According to law of attraction principles, you're going to create more lack, and that's just going to perpetuate. So draw your attention away from what you feel like you're missing and take it to what you want. Mistake number three that we often run into is not expressing enough gratitude. And this one's kind of tied with the last one because very often when we're trying to manifest something using the law of attraction principles, what we end up doing is getting frustrated. Either we're not ready for that thing or for whatever reason, the universe hasn't brought it into our world yet. And so we start getting almost desperate sometimes. We start thinking, I need that thing, I need the thing, I need to stop being broke. I need the money to come to me now. I'm so tired of being lonely. I'm so tired of being sick. And you get into this almost desperation mode. And Once again, that's not good for manifesting because all your focus goes into the lack. So one of the easy counters to that is to express gratitude. Gratitude takes you in a really positive direction, and it starts to make you think about how grateful you are for whatever is already there. And one of the expressions that I like about the law of attraction is, if you can't appreciate what you have right now, why should the universe give you more? So make it a practice, either by way of meditation or just through generic acts that you do, even if it's just yourself. Express gratitude. Start changing your mindset so that you are thinking about all the things that you're grateful for right now. Think about how amazing it is to have whatever you have. And I guarantee you, no matter what situation you are in, even if there's something absolutely terrible going on, there's something you have to be grateful for. You're alive. That's something to be grateful for. There's people around you. There's so many things you can be grateful for. And what you need to do is start putting your attention into that. And if you do that, that's going to counteract some of that desperation, some of that focus on lack, some of those negative feelings, and it's really going to help in your manifesting. Mistake number 4 when trying to manifest is having desires, the things that you are trying to manifest, come from a place of lack or limiting beliefs. Let me give you an example of this. And let's say, for example, that I really want to have a lot of money. But deep down, if I start to analyze, why do I want to have a lot of money? It's coming from this place of severe insecurity and this desperate need to try to impress everybody around me. I need to have money so that I can show the world that I'm a success and I'm not a failure. If that's where it's coming from, the source of your motivation for all the things you're trying to manifest is coming from a very negative place. It's coming from essentially a focus on lack. If I am deep down, I think I am worthless, I need to prove I'm not, and that's why I need to succeed, then that makes it much harder to actually succeed. Because once again, the focus at the core is coming from this place of lack. And so what I would recommend is to take a minute and really do some introspection. And don't even just do this once, make it a regular pattern, but tear down why you are trying to manifest the things that you are trying to manifest. Why is it that you need whatever it is you need in your life? If you want money, why? If you need health, like what's going on at the core of that? Is there something else happening? Tear it down, analyze the motivations, and then from there, remember mistake number 1, you need to become the person to whom the things you want are drawn. From there, you can figure out how to reconstruct whatever it is, make sure that the desires you're after still make sense, and then start to proceed forward once you can become a better person. But you got to tear it down and start to analyze why things are coming, or why you're desiring things to come to you in the first place. All right, mistake number 5 is immersing yourself in negativity. Now, it's really common to see somebody who will do like an affirmation, or maybe they'll meditate for a few minutes, and they'll talk to some friends and be like, yeah, I'm going to manifest and all the money's going to come to me and everything's going to be great. And then 10 minutes later, they're watching the news and they're ranting on Facebook and typing away really rapidly, and they're super angry, or they're screaming at the person on the roadway that cut them off, and they're honking their horn, and whatever it is. If you're doing that, you are totally immersed in negativity. Now, once again, negativity is kind of the antithesis of what we want in order to manifest. If you are living in negativity, that is the opposite direction we want to go. You want to live in positive emotions. You want to live in gratitude. You want to express how thankful and happy you are. That is the level you need to be in order to start manifesting. So if you're surrounded by negativity, if you're watching the news, if you're going around and you're arguing with your spouse or significant other on a nonstop basis, you need to fix those things, like fast. You need to go through and make sure that your house is in order and the people that you're surrounding yourself with are expressing positivity and gratitude, and they're uplifting and making you feel better, because that's going to ripple out into all sorts of ways. And on a metaphysical level, it's going to have an impact on your manifestation. So make sure that you're surrounding yourself with positivity. Do not surround yourself with negativity. And if you are surrounded with negativity, spend some time cleaning house. Manifestation mistake number 6 is using improper language. This can come about when we start to say things like, I'll do my best, or I'll try, I'll see what I can do, or you do anything that implies either the possibility or probability of failure, or your expression of uncertainty. When you start describing things in a way that makes it seem like this is not a certainty. You want to incorporate certainty in your language. Make sure that the way that you are expressing things tells you that whatever it is you want is coming into your life. Think about this example. If I were to go to a furniture store and I ordered a new couch, and I get really excited about this couch. I pay for it, I pay the shippers, I know this thing's coming. I go home, I'm gonna start clearing space out for that couch. I start doing things to get ready for the couch to be there. I'm gonna move things out of the way. I'm gonna make sure it's got a spot. I'm gonna think about how it's gonna sit in the room. I'm gonna do all this stuff with a certainty that it's coming. I know it's coming. You know, there's no doubt in my mind that, well, maybe something's gonna go wrong. Maybe the truck's gonna break down on its way to deliver it to me. Or maybe this furniture store company is gonna rip me off. We don't usually go through that process. What we do is we say, I know it's coming because I ordered it and I paid for it, and that's it. Do the same thing with the law of attraction. Once you've decided something is going to come into your life, let it become a certainty. You don't know when exactly it's coming or how it's coming, but don't come into doubts. Don't give yourself this language that's going to imply you don't know where it's coming from or if it's coming at all. Don't imply uncertainty. So be very careful with your language. Manifestation mistake number 7 is always thinking about things in the future tense. And that is to say, if I think about a thing and I say, one day I'm going to have the money, one day I'm going to have the health, one day I'm going to be fit, one day I'm going to have the lover, whatever it is, stop that. Think about it as though it's already been acquired. Because what happens is if you get into the habit of always pointing off into the distance or expressing things in terms of it's always over there, it's always over there. If you start walking towards that thing and you get there, it's still over there. And you're in this habit of always pointing off into the distance. And so what happens is you're telling the universe, in essence, one day it'll happen, but not today. And it's always going to be not today. It's always going to be off in the distance. And so you're never going to have it. So get into the habit of thinking about how you've already got the things. Maybe it's not physically in the room with you, but it's already in motion. It's coming to you right now. It's gonna be here. Essentially, it's here if you ignore the timeless element of it. Think about it in terms of it being here. And if that is too difficult, at a bare minimum, think of it in terms of the progressive. Think about how much healthier you're getting every day, even if you're not super healthy right now. Think about how much wealthier you're becoming every day. I'm becoming wealthier and wealthier. Like, put it into the progressive tense where it's actively happening right now. Because if it's just one day, it's never going to happen. It's always going to be one day off in the future. It's going to be distant. So think about things now, not off in the future. Manifestation mistake number 8 is failing to govern your thoughts. Here's what most people do. They're absolutely oblivious to where their minds are going. And so one second you'll be thinking, oh man, it'd be great if I had $1 million. And then the next second you're thinking, oh my God, that news over there was terrible. And then the next second you're thinking, I hate that my boss is angry at me. And so your brain goes all over the place. You're swinging from highs to lows, the positives to negatives, and your life becomes a roller coaster. Now, from a law of attraction perspective, you're sending all these contradictory messages out there. If one second, even if you're consciously thinking about affirmations or you're meditating or something, and you sit down and you say, I'm gonna have a lot more money. And then 10 minutes later, you're looking at the bills and you're going, I'm broke, I'm so broke, oh my God, I'm so broke. You're giving these conflicting messages out to the universe and you're making yourself feel like garbage. So stop doing that. Think about consistency in your thoughts. Make sure that when you leave your affirmations or you leave your meditation or whatever it is, and you go out into the regular world, you're still governing how you're thinking and how you're reacting to things, because that's going to ripple back into the thought. Once you start making consistency in your thought and you're consistently across the board thinking the same things, it's going to make manifestation so much easier because you are giving the universe clear and consistent messages. So govern your thoughts. Make sure that they're all positive and directed towards the things you want in your life. Manifestation mistake number 9 is not meditating or not meditating enough. It doesn't take very much. It takes just a few minutes a day, but spend some time meditating. And this goes beyond law of attraction in my mind. I am a huge advocate for meditating. And if you spend some time, there's so many different ways of meditating, and there's a lot of them that are incorporated or can be easily incorporated into your manifestation, focusing on the things you want and how you're going to get there, and making sure that you're calm and making sure that your emotions are much more regulated. All of this stuff goes in and is products of meditation. So if you're not doing it, at least spend a couple minutes a day working on meditation. I've got several other videos that will describe how. If you don't know how, there's a million resources out there that talk about meditation, but make it a habit to do this on some sort of regular basis. Even if you can't do it on a daily basis, do it at some frequency. Don't just let it go. Manifestation mistake number 10. And I put this one at the end because I think it's also incredibly important. Similar to number 1, this is probably number 2 in my mind, but I put it at the end for emphasis. And that is not incorporating action in your efforts to manifest. Now, I think that there is this common thought that the law of attraction is all about, I sit on my couch and I think about the thing that I want and it flies into my lap. You know, I think about $1 million and then $1 million is going to land in my lap. One of my favorite expressions is the law of attraction. Attraction inherently includes action. Attraction, action, get it? But in terms of principle, when you are taking action, when you're doing something to move yourself towards the things that you want, not only do you start to become the person to whom these things are going to be drawn, remember mistake number 1, but more importantly, you start giving the universe the materials to work with. You start creating opportunity. You start creating a mechanism by which the things you want come to you. Now, they're not always going to come to you in the way that you expect, but you need to start doing something, taking action. If I want to be fit, if I want to be healthy, I'm not going to do that by just sitting on the couch and thinking, I'm going to be fit, I'm going to be healthy, I'm going to be fit, I'm going to be healthy. You got to go do some work on it. You got to change your eating habits. You've got to go to the gym. You've got to learn about fitness. You've got to learn about, whatever it is you're going to do, you need to take some action to start that process moving. Even if that's going to a doctor and figuring out how to improve your health, there has to be some sort of action that is incorporated into the law of attraction. Now, again, things are not always going to come in this really obvious way. Sometimes you start moving in a direction and the thing you want comes to you from some totally unexpected source or pathway. But until you start moving, until you start doing something, you make it really difficult for the universe to help you out. So create congruity between your thoughts and your body. From a metaphysical perspective, we are the merger of the corporeal, the physical universe. That is part of what we are, and the metaphysical universe. If you think of us as spiritual entities, then we aren't just spiritual entities. We're merged with physical form. And the physical form comes around and is reactive to action in the physical sense. And so, since we're this merger of these two things, you need to incorporate both of these in terms of your manifestation. You need to both graft the metaphysical part of this by thinking and having consistency in your thoughts with the action part of this and going out and doing something that's going to further your goals. Those are the 10. Those are the 10 mistakes that I most commonly see with respect to manifestation. If you have any questions about this, please reach out or leave something in the comments.